Back to my live YouTube analysis here. What an epic qualifying it's been today. So I'm here in Monza at the moment because I was working for Sky today out there in RTL. So just going back a little bit. First of all, like when I was still active, one of the things I hated most was ex-drivers or journalists telling me about comments that ex-drivers made about me, which came across in a critical way. And particularly, actually, in my case, it was often like David Coulthard, would drive me nuts. I mean, seriously, it was horrible. And now we had the situation that journalists have been relaying some of my stuff or relaying some comments that apparently I said or whatever that were negative to Lewis and or even Max and whatever. And so now Lewis even Instagram storied about me. Max also, as you saw maybe in the news, like said something fighting back or firing back at me or whatever. But especially Lewis, imagine he Insta storied about me. So you can imagine that it must have annoyed him pretty much when journalists asked him, hey, you know, Rosberg said this and this or whatever I said. You can imagine it must annoy Lewis pretty much if he Insta stories about me. And therefore, as you know, I've got my notes here. What did I want to say? I enjoy. Oh, at the same time, yeah. So at the same time, I love doing these analysis because I love discussing my sport with you guys and trying to give you some great insight. At the same time, though, I have great respect for the drivers because, as I said, I hated it when ex-drivers like comments got relayed to me. So it's a bit. So I need to make a little bit of a change there because I don't want those guys to get my ex-colleagues who I respect a lot, like Max and Lewis and everybody else, to get relayed like some comments about me, which then come across very critically to them. So therefore, we're going to see this. I'm going to try and change my tone a little bit now because I have a lot of respect for those guys. So change my tone. Nevertheless, still trying to give you some awesome insights and all that. So let's see a little bit of a change. Let's see if it's still good or not. You can keep your comments going. I'll read them all. We can keep discussing, and then on to today's qualifying. Then, so the reason why we had this chaos, maybe you saw it or not. I mean, it was pretty incredible. I've never seen something like that before in qualifying in my life. And the reason for that chaos was that it's as extreme as ever. That the slipstream is 3 to 5 tenths per lap. It's never been that extreme in F1 as it is this year for some reason. So 3 to 5 tenths per lap if you're like 4 or 5 seconds behind the guy in front. So that's like crazy. So if you're the guy in front, you have no chance against the guy behind. Impossible. So as they all went out for the last run in qualifying, of course, nobody wanted to be that first guy in the queue. 10 cars, nobody wanted to be the first guy. And so all sorts of games started from everybody. Everybody was playing the games. I mean, people were doing fake starts, people were doing fake going off in the chicane, people were blocking on track. It was mayhem, just because no one wanted to be first in the queue. And then what they didn't notice was that the time was ticking away. Because it's very difficult in the car. It's happened to me so many times when I was still driving in the car to know exactly when is the moment where you really now need to go flat out, otherwise you're literally not going to make it across the line to do another lap. The engineer will tell you, it's like, it's getting close now, you got to hurry up, but you just don't know. And you don't know when do you take the compromise of, okay, maybe you are then the first because you now go flat out. So then you're going to get no slipstream, but at least you get a lap done. So you just don't know. It's a compromise, you don't know. So it's really, really difficult. And then they all got so mixed up in their fighting that only one guy actually made it across the line. And then you'd have to say, he did an awesome job, Carlos Sainz, because he did get across the line and he did put a lap in there, and that put him into P7, I think, now. So he did well. Everybody else lost out. Of course, for some people, losing out was good, like for Leclerc. He was all happy with that because that secured him pole position. Yeah, so I thought it was very, very interesting. And now we need to see what they're going to do in future, because of course there's also a safety aspect, because people going so slowly. Imagine one guy like comes out of the pits flat out and wants to get his lap done. He has to get through these 10 people who are going like snails out there. So there's a bit of a safety issue. So they need to come up with something. Probably they're just going to increase the minimum speed, so it's like an almost flat out lap that's required. That would be the easy solution, because then everybody goes out on their out laps and has to go very, very fast, because they know that there's that minimum speed. So that's probably the best solution and easiest solution. Anyway, it's only really relevant to Monza, maybe Spa a little bit as well, but there's not so many tracks, so let's see what they do. Okay, and then to the performances themselves, I mean, Leclerc, epic job, and he just nailed the slipstream as well in that first run, so he did really, really well. Great job from him. He's on fire, huh? And when you win the first race in your career, gives you such a boost in confidence as well. I remember when I did that. It's really like, because then you have the confirmation, okay, I'm good enough to win races even in Formula 1. So that's a good step, and he's on it at the moment. He's just getting everything right. 2 poles in a row now. congrats to him. The Ferrari tifosi, they love him, so they're like going nuts, supporting him a lot, so that's nice to see as well. And the Ferrari car was the fastest car here this weekend so far, but only on one lap. I'll come to the race later on. And then both Mercedes guys did a great job, P2, 3, both drivers, similar performance. Nothing much to say there. I think they got the best out of it. Lewis, as always, in qualifying. This is actually like Lewis's best track, Monza. And where he's so strong is in braking. Unbelievable, because it's so difficult to get the braking right on this track, and that's where there's most time. Just braking is just insane how late he's able to brake without locking up. It's one of his greatest strengths here on this track. So Valtteri third, I think that was okay. Vettel, P4. You know that Vettel actually did the best lap, I think, of the day, because he didn't have a slipstream and he was only 1.5 tenths of pole. So with a slipstream, he would easily have been on pole, you know. So really, I think Vettel did an epic lap and just didn't get it quite right to be in that slipstream in the right moment for his first lap. But apart from that, I think he was back on fire today and driving really, really well. So maybe Vettel is back, which would be nice. And then behind that, you've got Ricciardo, I think, in 5th. And he's driving really, really awesomely, Ricciardo, because he's dominating Hülkenberg in a way that nobody would have expected, because Hülkenberg is fast, and he's very, very talented, very fast, and Ricciardo is just always on it, always in front now, really, really impressive. So he's really showing that he's one of the best drivers out there, I think. And I hope, and we all hope, to see him back in a top car, being able to challenge for wins soon. That would be great. Hülkenberg, 2 tenths off Ricciardo, I think is okay. Important one for him at the moment to show that he's worth having a race seat again for next year in a decent car. So I think there's like Haas and things like that as options. Then what else behind there? 7th was Sainz, I think. Then Raikkonen was 10th. I can't really remember who else was there and who else did a great job. Kvyat or whatever, can't remember. Anyways, yeah, so that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in again. Subscribe. There's a vlog coming out as well later on this evening. The vlog was a bit of a difference this time because I had to selfie video quite a lot, but it was still fun, so check it out. I was speaking to Didier Drogba as well, one of the greatest soccer players of all time. So subscribe to the channel so you see that video popping up. I'm going to take a few comments now. Do you have a response for Max from Miguel? No, I don't, not at all. Just that I take, obviously, respect a lot those guys out there. So there we go. I've lost the comments. There we go. Vettel track limits. Papa says Vettel track limits. Yeah, that was close. I don't know if you saw it on the lap that counted for him, like touching the white line or not. It was like millimeters, No clue. I mean, okay, they decided that it was all good, so then it's fine. So he must have been touching. Bax, you're asking, what's the updates with the Project 1 car? Again, Project 1 update is going to come very, very soon, because I just received an email from them with an update video, actually. So I'm going to relay them to you on a YouTube video update of the Project 1 very, very soon. Again, subscribe if you're new to the channel so that you see that video coming through. Nico, thanks for the tickets last weekend. That was a dream come true. Red Oak, my pleasure. My pleasure for that. Laura, don't overthink things or listen to the haters. Okay, tell the truth as you see it. Yeah, no, of course, I'm always going to be open because I enjoy doing these analysis of the sport I love together with you guys. But at the same time, I respect those drivers a lot, as I said. And if some of the things that the journalists or the ways the journalists are relaying them annoys them a lot, I definitely have to listen to that as well. And I don't want to, you know, so I respect that. So I just need to find the balance, and we'll try and find the balance and do it together here. Who else is there? Thomas, will Ferrari be strong in the next races too? Oh, perfect. So what I didn't say yet is about tomorrow's race. Ferrari, I think Mercedes is stronger in the race tomorrow. So Ferrari, it's going to be difficult for Leclerc. It's going to be so tough, especially with 2 Mercedes behind, because they can then play him on strategy. They could put Bottas in early, because undercut is powerful, so they bring Bottas in really early, so Leclerc then needs to cover. Lewis can stay out long, run his tires long as he always does, and then pit very, very late, and then get a run on Leclerc very in the very end of the race. So that seriously can be a scenario for tomorrow, and that's going to be an exciting race, and that's the weakness of being alone without your teammate out in front. So strategy and pace is really in the favor of Mercedes, and yeah, so quite possibly Lewis then has to be the favorite for tomorrow's race, but it's going to be super fun, super exciting. Anything else? Villeneuve in the house. Pennywise Villeneuve in the house. Ha ha ha, very funny. Thank you very much. Where did Renault's pace come from? Yeah, Renault, cool, huh? So they've got an engine upgrade, and that's looking strong. So impressive, huh? But of course, it's such a unique track with the low downforce. So it's not yet necessarily a case for every track where they're going to be so strong. But let's see. Maybe they've made a general improvement. Okay, thanks a lot for tuning in again. Check out tomorrow or tonight vlog coming out tomorrow, more YouTube videos, and also tune in then on Sky, or if you're German, RTL tomorrow to watch the race. Sky Sports, the race will be at 2:10, right? 2:10 I think UK time, and any other time that you're over there. And that's it. Okay, bye, thank you.